All right. So, the Dilluvia project. The and Dilluvia is hard for me to actually say those words.
What's going on?
That tile was 4 points for me.
This one?
Which
That was
would have given you a tie.
It would have been a
What's the
tie.
And I would have had the
And then you would have
the
won
closest
by-
to the next 10.
Oh, okay.
Closest to the next 10.
So
I was
you
on the
change.
10.
Yeah.
There you go, yeah.
It would have felt worse.
So, start on that side.
This
Chris.
really snuck up on us, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
It sounds easy.
Wicked.
Get resources, put a building out there, get your prestige, you have an income track. Every turn you get something. Wow. I would play it again for sure. I would wonder how it would be if I played it again on the second play. I think that's clearly as easily as I can say it just snuck up on us how hard it was to think through the planning and what.
Did you enjoy it?
Definitely enjoyed it. Definitely. It's just that there's this interesting resource mechanism here. Like, what are they going to take before me? Can I use the empty spots to my advantage? Yeah, it's the classic worker placement, sweating out if someone's going to take a thing in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Right away, I moved off to the side by myself and created this whole own blue thing. Maybe that helped. You know, I kind of the parks were my own over here.
True.
And no one was getting in my way as much. But maybe a little less knife fighting as you guys out over here. I don't know how
I don't think
felt,
we
but
all got in each other's way.
It didn't seem like it too much,
honestly.
right?
No.
You could though.
Yo, you totally could.
If you made that one turn we talked about in the mid-game, if you took that 4 spot away from me, right, we just had the option to put her green cubes in here one turn before I plopped my 4 blue cubes down there.
Right.
That would have hurt so bad.
You took building spots over here that I needed about midway through the game.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the interesting thing is they added in these other vents so that you could get out of the way. So if somebody really did come and block you in somewhere, there's options like, oh, okay, it's going to cost you money, but it gives you some prestige too, so
Right.
it kind of balances out, and then you have this other area that
you can
could
get
go
out
into.
of jail
It's a
if
vet.
you
Thing
get
is-
hemmed in, right? Yeah.
I felt like everything there was another option. It wasn't necessarily easy to come up with the other option, but they were there. There were things that you could do to kind of work around. And then calculating that out and trying to figure out where you were going to get your points was so brain burning. But the biggest thing for me, I was like so stressed that you all were going to take what I needed, like, and be in my way. It was very stressful.
Because you're putting so much into it, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, I planned this all out. If you do one thing that messes with me, I gotta start over. Like,
So I'm exhausted, and I don't, honestly, and I don't think it's from this being the third stream of the day. I'm sure that plays a part, no doubt, whatever. But I'm saying mentally, I'm exhausted from
this
this
takes
game.
a lot.
But I loved it. I really did. Now, the graphic design we talked about, not super keen on when it comes to the tiles and everything out there. But overall, and it's fiddly, let's face it, whenever you're placing on the buildings, oh, I got to move this, whatever. Be careful you don't bump the boards. But you know what? I loved it. I really, really, really enjoyed this. I have no idea why I didn't enjoy it, my first play, or first couple plays back way back. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed this. And I love how my inability to remember the rules for the 5 building completely changed how you guys were doing your turns too. And even though that was inadvertent, interaction, there's a ton of interaction. It's a worker placement, right? But also with the market over there for those tiles, I think that is a hugely interactive and can be mean, but more I'm focused on me, but oh hey, I think you're going to do this, so that anticipation of what others are
It
doing.
just feels like you're going to miss an opportunity if you're not near the front of the turn order.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the special workers are also another heavy point of interaction.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, only one person gets to take
Yeah.
an
Point,
action,
yeah.
especially.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, before the stream, I said it's probably my favorite Spielworks that I played.
Right.
And it's because it does things differently, but the thing that I like most about the game is just the emergent nature of the board, like most city building games are going to have, but it's got these little knife fights all over the place.
Right.
And the arc of the incomes. Like you can push for, making money or making resources or making prestige and flip with that action over there. You can flip the board and kind of mold. You can get the buildings that will set you up for late in the game while kind of slowly milking it now, but then it'll really help you later. That's something I really like.
Yeah, I mean, the difference here in the spread was 9 points, 10 points.
Yeah.
Between
in an
all of
81
us.
point game.
In an 81 point, I think that's pretty tight. That's awfully tight. So yeah, huge fan. I would love to play this more.
And look at the prestige. The person with the highest prestige was lowest
I went for
in real
prestige
points.
early thinking that was good, but I really needed to get this higher. So there's
For
a
your
balancing
buildings,
act
right?
there. And I
Yeah.
didn't do enough there. Just a couple more there
Yep.
would have helped tremendously.
Yep.
And so you said all these like knife fights that are happening, and I know there's some players that don't like kind of that feeling of take that, or feeling like people are getting in the way of like how they're going to play the game. But there's ways to mitigate that too. I didn't want to fight with y'all over here, and I don't tend to want to use actions for turn order. So knowing that about myself, I made sure I did something that would mitigate that. Oh, I'm going to get money if you take things out of my row. Okay, I'll use that and look at what you guys are doing so that I kind of get a benefit for that. I never went for turn order. And I also had the lowest amount of workers. I never upped my workers. So you all had more workers than me, and I still was able to come. And I was short workers every round.
Yep.
So I just didn't go for it early, missed that, and was like, well, I'm not going to get it now. And
Right.
And I think that I think all of us made a number of mistakes that we were like, oh, had I done this, da-da-da-da. So the moral of the story is, what I'm taking away from this is I went heavy workers because worker placement, more workers seems good. And Jess did the exact opposite and was competitive. So what that tells me is there are different strategies to be able to, now, maybe if you played perfectly, which God bless you if you can do that, that is above my pay level. But I feel like there are definitely different strategies that are viable, and when you switch gears, is completely in your control.
It is.
Absolutely.
And yeah, there is a whole lot to dive into.
I mean, talk
on
about
this game.
replayability. There's just so many ways you could play this. How other people play is going to impact how you're playing.
So
It's,
we all ended at either 6 or 7 on the build points.
Yes.
Where, if you kind of ignore the rounds for a little bit, you can make up those points with one scoring.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So if you're building the lower buildings, not even
Get
worrying
those
about
bumps.
stuff, just get the bumps.
Yeah,
Right.
just spamming the small buildings
Yeah.
type thing, kind of the Baltic and Mediterranean
Yeah.
of Sky City here,
Yeah.
Dilluvia.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking, would I build different buildings next time? This is really in your face, the bonus for building the appropriate building in each round. That's 12 points if you do it every round, right? But I'm thinking there's probably combos in buildings or whatever. If we go hard on one or do what you said, a bunch of little buildings, there's probably different ways you can try to come at it, which is kind of cool and exciting. And there is a lot of competition and interaction, but I didn't feel any of it was take thatty or like spiteful. I think just one time I realized Edward was going to go take his money on his next turn after me, and I got in there with a special thing before.
And Chris says, I think the Glory to Rome board tells a different story
Yeah.
about getting in each other's way. So we're looking at 8 Glory to Romes over the course of a game.
Yeah.
But not many of
And it's
those,
not-
those weren't for this. Those were getting for each other's way over.
Yeah, and it's not take that. It's like
No.
You kinda
rubbing
know-
shoulders
you
a
kinda
little
know
too
it's-
intimately.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Doesn't feel bad because I wanted that, but I'm also not first in turn order, and I could have done something about
Right,
it.
exactly.
Sort
Like
of
you
thing,
could have done something different to avoid
Yeah, I was
this.
way more upset with myself in the game than I was necessarily.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm going to take all 3. Oh!
But I did. Yeah. Oh, we all did it though. That's the thing is we all had moments where we're like, oh, I missed that.
All right.
Good.
Yeah, fantastic.
I'm so glad we
exhausted.
streamed this tonight.
Oh, me too. So, thank you.
Yeah.
So there was a big there was a big discussion last night.
Yes.
Late last night after the live streams.
And
when
this morning.
And this morning because we realized that the Dilluvia project, the second edition, wasn't going to arrive
No.
in time. And so we were
Do we
like,
play
what do we do?
something else?
So
Do we fill
we were
in?
looking at various
No.
games and everything. And Jess was like, no, just play the first edition and we'll do an unboxing. You can do an unboxing
And
when it
as
comes.
at the beginning, people said they love seeing the comparison to
Yeah,
see
so-
what's different. So that will be happening.
You were right. So thank you. And these
Hey,
guys
thank
were
you.
like,
Yeah, I'm happy to have played it. Yeah.
So, and Rand, thanks again for the teach.
Yeah, that
Appreciate
was
you
great.
taking that on.
Totally.
Yeah, so there you go. That is Dilluvia project. So this is the first edition of Spielworks, which is unavailable. The second edition is, as of today, available from Tasty Minstrel. When that comes in, we'll do an unboxing, and probably I'll have both copies here and
Yeah.
show you guys
Do a comparison.
what they look like and the differences, if there are many to talk about. So that's it. We'll be back tomorrow. We have 2 live streams tomorrow. We have Watergate and Be Lives. We will only know summer. So you were not here till
I'm not
Saturday.
here tomorrow. I'll be back Saturday.
All right, and you were here for Be Lives. And Jess and I are here for Watergate and Be Lives. So I'm going to bed.
Yeah,
Oh,
before you go, I just
seriously.
want to give kudos to Alexander Garcia on this and
Yeah.
get it reprinted too.
Yes.
Yep. So
Congrats,
glad
man.
about that. Very, very
Yeah.
well done. And
Thanks
thanks
for
for
being
hanging
here.
out in
Yeah.
the chat. That was cool.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
All right, and Red Eye Ghost says missed most of the middle part of the game, but the roundtable discussion is convincing me to buy it. Will I prudently wait to buy it until I've had a chance to watch the rest? We
We'll
know
find
the
out.
answer.
I know you're not going
We
to
know
win.
the answer.
Because everyone else will.
All right, so 2 o'clock tomorrow for Watergate. 2-player with me and Jess, and then later that night for Be Live.
I'm
What?
excited about both.
Who's playing what side?
We'll find out.
We may flip a coin. I don't know.
We haven't decided
so
yet.
we'll see.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see how that goes.
Cool. All right. So I'm Edward.
I'm Jess.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Rand.
Like and subscribe down below.
Yeah, come on.
Support the show over on pledgehc.com,
Pledge, come on.
please. It really helps the show. And it motivates us to do more of these insane marathon things that we're doing here. So we'll catch you all tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
Bye.